Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. In this video, we're looking at the updated picks for tonight, just because just got the alert that Memphis Portland, one of the best games to target on this 10-game slate, has been postponed. So it kind of takes out a lot of what I wanted to do tonight. So go ahead and kind of touch on some of the new picks here. I'm not going to go through every single game. If you want to listen to that, then you can watch the first video. Just go through and give you guys my core picks in a quick couple-minute video. So let's get started. You guys can always hit the like button. I appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Twitter, website, all that stuff's in the description. Starting off here, at point guard, I still like Malcolm Brogdon here. He's sitting at a really nice price tag, 8,300 against Dallas. Expect the Phoenix game to be pretty close, so I don't have to worry about too much blowout risk. Brogdon has been just getting a ton of usage since Oladipo's been traded. He's gotten 21 shots, 18 shots, 18 shots. He's a guy that's been taking a ton of shots, and the last few games have also been blowouts. They lost by, like, do the math, 33 points against the Clippers, and they won by, 24 against the Blazers. So he's lost a little bit of rotation in the fourth. He's usually going to play like high 30s in minutes. So if we add him like to 38, 39 minutes tonight against the Dallas Mavs, you got to think he's going to shoot better than 7 of 21, 5 of 18. And I'm expecting like a high 40s, low 50-point outing out of Brogdon. We know the ceiling is there. So he's a core piece for me at the point guard position, especially now that we lost John Morant, who was just standing out so much tonight. Sad that we can't play him at like 70, how I don't know, 7,300. That price tag was insane. But to go to the next best thing, and that's Malcolm Brogdon, shooting guard here. Still not going to be playing Kevin Herter, even though has taken out some players. Here's 9,500, a superstar Kevin Herter, more expensive than Paul George, D'Angelo Russell, Jaylen Brown. Keep going down the list. At this position, I think you can definitely take a shot on Victor Oladipo. I like him at 78. I think you can look to D'Angelo Russell at 88. They both have big time ceilings. Going with Oladipo just because I like his price tag a little bit more than Russell's. He gonna have a ton of usage with the Rockets until John Wall comes back. So you got to just got to have a couple more games where you can get Oladipo playing point guard and get him, handling the ball up and down the court, getting assists, scoring a ton, and just being like the main guy on offense. Him and Christian Wood running the pick and roll. So it's a good spot for Oladipo here against the Suns. Their defense has been pretty solid this season, but it's at home in Houston. Expect another close game here. So to see Oladipo log heavy minutes tonight, hopefully mid 30s would be nice. So think he has a great, huge ceiling at 78, like 50s, 60-point ceiling. Small forward. We have Gordon, I think is fine here at 74 against the Timberwolves. If you wanted to go to Aaron Gordon, they're getting Evan Fournier back, so it's going to be a little bit less ball handling responsibilities for Gordon, which is what he's been kind of doing since Fournier's missed. He's playing a lot of point forward. You don't have that many studs that I feel great about paying for at small forward, so I think it's a decent spot to go in the mid range. And here we have a few that I like with Eric Gordon. I think looks appealing if you want to get both him and Oladipo in there. Just gonna play good minutes starting. Next starting shooting guard, he's gonna take a lot of shots. Him and Oladipo should take probably take the over on 40 combined shots between the two of them. Probably play like 65 to 70 minutes tonight, and it's another nice spot where I think Gordon can hit value just until John Wall comes back. He's going to have more usage, more shot attempts, a little bit of everything. He's not a really good player to rely on in the peripherals, but if he's going to shoot 15 to 20 times tonight, I think he can hit value at 5,500. Given that this position isn't like jumping off the page with a lot of cheap, valuable options. Power forward here. It's knocked out Brandon Clark and Tillman with the Portland news. So I think you can look to Kristaps at 79. You can look to Jeremy Grant at 77. Both of those guys look fine. I think Chris Boucher looks awesome as well at 73 against Miami. He has just been killing it ever since they've given him some minutes. He's been a spark for them. He shoots really, really well. Like, I don't know if this is sustainable. He's shooting over 60% from the floor, shooting over 45% from distance. He is just a monster. He's looking like a young Kristaps Porzingis, and just gives you a ton of upside here with the block shots as well. He's multiple blocks and just keep going down in basically every game except, every game since the 6th of January. So you gotta like him tonight just for his defensive purposes, he looks good on Fanduel with those extra points you get. Double candidate, just a lot to like with him. Only thing is, the foul trouble can be a little bit risky, but without Jimmy Butler and maybe without Tyler Hero, you don't get too many guys slashing to the basket. So hopefully he can stay out of that. Center here, I think Nikola Vucevic. Now that I don't have to spend up for John Morant, I don't have to spend up for maybe consider Damian Lillard. I think Vucevic is a guy that I would like to prioritize against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We saw Clint Capella just absolutely destroy this front court last game, and I think Vucevic can do more of the same. He's a much better offensive player than Capella, and he's still the main focus point of the Magic offense. Should be able to destroy the paint against a very undersized Naz Reid. I think he's like 6'9", and then if they play Vanderbilt or Ed Davis, both of those guys are also no match for Vucevic. So expect Vucevic to have a big game. 86, he looks awesome. I also think Christian Wood is another guy that you can go with. Uh, but I think Vucevic gives you like a 60-point ceiling tonight. And then there's not a ton of value here. I think one guy that we can go to, we are playing a couple Houston guys, so if you want to run it back with the guy, you could look to Cam Johnson, who's only 3,900. He missed a few games, I think maybe due to protocol reasons, but he returned against the Memphis on the 18th, and he played right back to what he's been, 23 minutes off the bench, put up 21 fantasy points. He's below 4,000. He's been playing well for the team this season, shooting almost 40% from three, shooting over 45% from the floor. Off the bench, he gets you some rebounds. He does have the ball in his hands a little bit when there's no when there's no almost said John Wall, when there's no Devin Booker and no Chris Paul out there on the court. So 39 for him. It's been kind of like around that price tag all season. But there's just not a ton of value right now. Maybe we'll get some more in the next coming hours. His price tag is a little bit cheaper than it's been. It does give you mid 20 point upside. So I think he's fine at 3,900. And that's pretty much it for the DraftKings quick rundown of the core plays. Let's jump over to FanDuel. Alright, FanDuel, point guard. We are no longer able to play John Moran at 7,900, but I think you can go to Malcolm Brogdon. 88 looks fine. I still love the price tag on De'Aaron Fox compared to his price tag on DraftKings. 78. It's a scary spot against the Clippers. They're good defensively. This game could get out of hand, but I just like the upside that Fox presents. We saw last game, we definitely were all over him against the Pelicans, and I just feel good about that price tag. I just think he's too cheap for the upside. So give me De'Aaron Fox still on FanDuel. At shooting guard, I still like D'Angelo Russell here, 8,400. He's just like $500 more than Oladipo, so compared to like $1,000 more expensive on DraftKings, he looks better. On FanDuel, 8,400, just gonna have so much offensive role without Karl Anthony Towns, and he's playing a lot better. He's shooting the ball better from three, and that's just gonna help him going forward with his fantasy scores. So, like D'Angelo Russell a lot tonight. Small forward here, you have like Kawhi. I think you can get to him now that you probably aren't going to be. Now that people that were paying up for Lillard have a lot of cap left to spend, so maybe they'll go to Kawhi Leonard here at this position. Other guys to look at are like Beasley at 66, maybe Harrison Barnes. You have a couple guys that look appealing in the 5K range, like Eric Gordon, I think is fine. You have below 5K, you have like 45 for Joe Harris, 42 for Justin Holiday. They all look up fine, but I like Gordon, 5,200. Just think he can get you 6x here and have like a pretty high floor, like 5x in this matchup without John Wall. So give me some Eric Gordon. I think he just looks nice on a position where I'd probably go cheap. Power forward, we have Sabonis, 96. Wood is great, but 98 is definitely a tough price tag to kind of eat when you have Sabonis cheaper. When then you have like Boucher, so much cheaper, Chris Knapp, so much cheaper, Aaron Gordon. So probably won't get to a Wood on FanDuel, but I like Boucher, 81, especially on FanDuel where you get those massive bonuses for blocks and steals, and he's a guy that's just a beast in that department. So he can definitely rack up those blocks and steals, and even though he does get into foul trouble, he doesn't lose points. Gain points for like double doubles that he would get on DraftKings, but FanDuel you get those extra bonuses for blocks and steals, so I think he looks definitely a fine option. And then at center here, you have a couple that I still am considering. I think already had in the morning video, we had DeAndre Jordan, who's like super cheap. I think he looks fine if you wanted to go to DeAndre Jordan. You have a nice cheap price tag on DeAndre Ayton, who's only 70 or 6,700, so he also looks appealing. And then like James Wiseman is also super cheap. He had 5,000, 13 minutes. So if you want to go for a bit safer of a pick, I think DeAndre Jordan is that guy at 48, just against a big Cleveland team with JaVale McGee, Aaron Gordon, I mean Andre Drummond, Jared Allen, just so many bigs in that again in the Cavs. So could see DeAndre Jordan have to play and have to play a big role for the team. So that's basically it for the quick rundown of the updated picks. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. And best of luck.